Good morning, guys. In the last class, we started our discussion related to Jenkins pipeline. In Jenkins, we can create jobs in two ways. One is freestyle project by using GUI approach, and the second one is pipeline by using code. Pipeline nothing but set of steps to automate our build and deployment. Pipelines are used to create the complex jobs in the Jenkins. That pipeline can be created in two ways. One is by using scripted pipeline. Second one is declarative pipeline. So declarative pipeline is the easiest approach to create the pipelines. Coding knowledge is not required for that. Pipeline code will keep inside a file called Jenkins file. That Jenkins file will be part of our project repository. So if you see here, multiple stages will be available in the pipeline. Every stage is responsible to perform some operation. So stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, like this. Multiple stages will be available and every stage is responsible to perform some operation. So yesterday we have seen sample syntax of the Jenkins declarative pipeline. So pipeline stages: clone the GitHub repository, then do the Maven build. Like that, multiple stages will be available. So now today I want to create one Jenkins pipeline. So that Jenkins pipeline is responsible to take the code from the GitHub and do the build by using Maven, then deploy that project into Tomcat server. So this is our first Jenkins pipeline that we are going to create. Jenkins pipeline job. Jenkins pipeline job. In this Jenkins pipeline job, what are the softwares we are going to use? So here we are going to use GitHub. Our code will be available in the GitHub, and that code we need to build and package by using Maven. And once that WAR file is created, I want to deploy that into Tomcat server. In order to automate all these things, I'm going for Jenkins. So I'm taking GitHub, then I'm taking Maven, then Tomcat and Jenkins. So here the process code is available in the GitHub. Code is available in the GitHub, and here Jenkins will be available. Jenkins will be available. It should talk to Maven and it has to deploy into Tomcat. Perfect. So this is our GitHub repo, and this is our Maven build tool, Maven, and this is our Tomcat, right? This is our Jenkins. So I will create a pipeline so that my Jenkins will communicate with the GitHub to get the code from the GitHub repository. Then Jenkins will communicate with the Maven build tool so that it will compile the project and it will package the project as a WAR file. Then Jenkins will deploy that WAR file to the Tomcat server. So this is the process: GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, and Tomcat. So now first let me go to my AWS account and let me check all the machines are running or not. So Jenkins is available in one machine. Tomcat is available in another machine. Jenkins is available in one machine. Tomcat is available in another machine. Okay, sign in. EC2. Take the machines which are running now. Instances. Jenkins master server is running, but Tomcat is not running. Let me go to EC2 dashboard. Instances running. Instances. I need to run my Tomcat server as well. Yeah, Tomcat is in another machine. Instance state. Start the instance. So my Tomcat will be, the machine is starting. I should connect it to this machine and I need to start the Tomcat server. Okay. So Jenkins is running already. We can access that Jenkins machine. Let me access its public IP. Let me access its public IP and go to the browser :8080. Yes, I'm able to access my Jenkins. I'm able to log in into the Jenkins. Good. Now, see the Tomcat server. It is running. Connect to the Tomcat machine and run the Tomcat server manually. So go here, SSH, public IP, username, Ubuntu, and private key is available. Select this private key, Ashok IT PEM file, click on OK. Public key, Tomcat server, key pair, Ashok IT. That's it, na? Session, SSH, remote host, 195, specify username, that is Ubuntu, SSH settings, private key, PEM file. Click on OK. What happened? No supported authentication methods available. Server refused our key. Why it is refusing our key? Click on connect. Yes, click on connect. I'm directly connecting from this session, guys. Not from the mobile extreme. I'm directly trying to connect here. Okay, I connected to this machine. ls-l, Tomcat is available. cd space Apache Tomcat, cd space bin directory, ls-l, we have sh startup.sh. So with this, my Tomcat server got started. Okay, let me access this Tomcat server. Go to public IP and keep 8080. Yes. So I'm able to access my Tomcat server. So with this, my Jenkins server is ready and my Tomcat server is also ready. Maven, we already configured as a global tool in the Jenkins. So my project is available in the GitHub and I have my Jenkins machine ready and I have my Tomcat server ready. Then Maven build tool is also ready. Now let us create Jenkins pipeline. So in my pipeline, 3 stages will be available. So this one, GitHub stage will be my first stage. So I want to take the code from the GitHub. That is my stage 1. And I want to do the Maven build. That is my stage 2. And I want to deploy that code into Tomcat server. That is my stage 3. So here, 3 stages will be available in my Jenkins pipeline. First stage, take the code from the GitHub. Second stage, take the Maven build. Third stage, deploy that into Tomcat server. So Tomcat server is running in another machine. Jenkins is running in another machine. So let us see how can we set up this Jenkins pipeline. Now, so DevOps project setup with a CI/CD pipeline. DevOps project setup with the CI/CD pipeline. Maven build tool. So GitHub repository. So you can see that this is my GitHub repository. Java web application is available in this location. Here Jenkins file is available, which contains the script, guys. So which contains the script, pipeline script will be available. That I will write that script now. So how we will keep the Docker file? Similarly, we will keep a Jenkins file also. Got it? Fine. I have my GitHub repository and I want to set up this pipeline. So fine. So Tomcat URL. So let me take my Tomcat URL. This is the URL of our Tomcat server. This is the URL of our Tomcat server. Okay, GitHub repository available. Tomcat URL is available. My Jenkins also ready. So Jenkins VM setup, we no need to follow these steps because already our Jenkins VM is up and running. We are able to access our Jenkins. Now we need to go for pipeline creation. Create CI/CD pipeline with the below stages. The first stage is create GitHub stage. So now let us go here. Let us create a new Jenkins job. So I'm going to take this as Java Web App Pipeline. Java Web App Pipeline job. I want to create this as pipeline. Click on pipeline. Okay. So here description, this job is used to automate build and deployment. This job is used to automate build and deployment. Now go to pipelines, pipeline script. Okay, if I go to this pipeline script, try sample pipeline, hello world pipeline. So they are giving hello world pipeline here. They are giving hello world pipeline here. Now a stage is available. Inside the stage, steps are available. Okay. Now first stage, I want to take the code from the GitHub repository. So my first stage, I want to take the code from GitHub repository. So in order to take the code from the GitHub repository, we need to give Git URL. Now, currently we are using public repository, but tomorrow in the company, the repository will be private repository. So how to take the code from the private repository? To take the code from the private repository, we need to configure our credentials. Guys, is it recommended to configure GitHub credentials in the pipeline script? Is it recommended to configure our GitHub credentials in the pipeline script, or it is not recommended? Is it recommended to configure the credentials in the pipeline script, or it is not recommended to configure the credentials in the pipeline script? It is not recommended to configure our credentials in the pipeline because of security concerns. Then how we are going to deal with the credentials? So we need to mask our credentials. We should not display our credentials inside the script. For that, we need to use pipeline syntax here, guys. Observe carefully. There is an option called pipeline syntax. So let's open this pipeline syntax in the new tab. I opened pipeline syntax in the new tab. So here, how we need to develop the stage in the pipeline? For that, I'm going to use pipeline syntax option. So I click on this pipeline syntax, right click on this, open in the new tab. So now pipeline syntax tab is opened. In this pipeline syntax tab, what I will do is I will select Git. There is an option called Git option is available. How to execute Git stage, that we can get the code from this pipeline syntax. Sample step. Go here, select Git. When I select the Git, it is asking the repository URL. What is our GitHub repository URL? So this is my GitHub repository URL. Let me take this. I'm giving this GitHub repository URL. Now in that repository, which branch available? Master branch is available. So branch name I'm giving as master. What about the credentials? What about the credentials? Now I want to add the credentials of my GitHub. Click on add Jenkins, username and password. So we know our GitHub account username and password. Okay. So here, this is my username and my password will be available. So I need to configure my GitHub username and password. Username, that is Ashok IT School, and password will be available. So let me give my password. So GitHub username and GitHub password I'm giving. So here I'm typing this as Git credentials. Git credentials. Okay. GitHub underscore credentials. Right. So I have given my username and password. Click on add. Now select the credentials. My Git credentials available. Select that. Once the Git credentials are available, now I have selected the sample step as Git. I have given my GitHub repository URL. Branch is master. Credentials I have added. Then generate a pipeline script. Click on generate pipeline script. So now here my GitHub stage code is available. Git credentials ID, Git credentials available, URL is available. Now I configured my Git credentials with this ID. So they are not visible outside. So whenever you want to clone the GitHub repository with the credentials, then you need to take this Git credentials ID. Take this Git credentials ID. So I got this Git credentials ID. This is my repository stage. This is my repository stage. Okay. So I have generated pipeline syntax by using this GitHub stage. Okay. So this is the ID Git credentials. I configured my credentials for that. And this is my repository URL. So to clone this repository URL, you use these credentials. Now in the script, I will configure this stage. Here credentials will not be visible for the users in the script, but credentials are configured with this ID. Okay, that is one thing. And the next one, create Maven build stage, add the Maven in the global tools. Okay, already Maven we have added in the global tools. Already Maven we have added in the global tools. Meanwhile, let me take this stage, clone repository stage, git credentials. Inside this step, in the pipeline step, let me add this. Git credentials ID I have configured. So can we check it? Is it working as expected or not? Apply and save. I have added one stage in the pipeline, git credentials. Now click on build now and check the status. My first build triggered, build now option. Now go to this, go to console output, started by user, running in the Jenkins, git clone, finished successfully. That means my first stage is working as expected. I'm able to clone the GitHub repository. So once we are able to clone the GitHub repository, then what is our next stage? Doing Maven build. Maven already we configured as a global tool. If you go to the dashboard, manage Jenkins, global tools configuration. In the global tool configuration, we configured Maven. So Maven 3.9.1 version we have configured. Now this configured in the build for the build process in the global tool. Now I want to add that. In the Jenkins job, Java web application pipeline job. Go to configure. Now go to pipeline. One stage is completed for the git clone. Now I need to go for next stage. What is my next stage? Maven build. Okay. For that, let me write a stage. So that is Maven build. Inside that, steps will be available. First stage name I'm giving as git clone. Second stage I'm giving as Maven build. It has to perform the Maven build. Where is the Maven software? Maven software is configured as a global. Maven software is configured as a global build tool. Guys, anybody having any issue with the screen? Abhishek? Any issue with the screen, man? Yeah. So that is a Zoom control. I have Zoom control. Right, fine. Now, so here git clone is available and Maven build is available. So where is that Maven? Maven we configured as a build tool. So now to configure that Maven build tool, so definition Maven home. Where is the Maven? Maven 3.9.1 we have configured. Maven 3.9.1 we have configured as a global tool. So type is Maven. This is the name that I have configured in the global tool. Okay, guys. Now, so here I'm giving definition as Maven home. Tool name Maven-3.9.1. Type is Maven. So in the Maven home bin MVN, in this directory Maven will be available. So we need to go to that directory and we need to execute clean package goal. We need to go to that directory where Maven is configured. Maven configured as a global tool. So in the Maven directory, bin MVN folder will be available. In that Maven will be available. So go inside that directory and do the clean package. So this we need to configure as Maven stage. So take this and inside the steps, we are going to configure where the Maven is available and what is the directory structure of the Maven and where that Maven command is available. Go inside the directory, then execute clean package. It is used to build our project. It is used to clean our project. See here, create Maven build stage, add Maven in global tools. Maven is already added in the global tools. So if you go here, Maven is added in the global tool. Go to the dashboard, go to manage Jenkins, global tool. We have seen already in the global tool, Maven installation is added. That installation name I have given Maven-3.9.1, which is installing Maven 3.9.1 version. So the same name I'm taking and I'm configuring in this stage. So Maven-3.9.1 type is Maven. So this is the Maven home global tool. I'm telling that this Jenkins job should use the Maven from the global tool. So from that global tool, go inside the Maven directory. Inside the Maven, we need to execute clean package gold that I configured as second stage in my Jenkins pipeline. So let me go to this dashboard, open our Jenkins pipeline. In the Jenkins pipeline, configure option is available, pipeline. 2 stages are available. Stage 1, doing the git clone. Stage 2, doing the Maven build. Click on apply and click on save. Guys, remember here, whatever the name you have given for the Maven in the global tool, same name you need to configure. Then only it will recognize where is Maven in our Jenkins. If Maven is available, if it is able to locate where is the Maven, then only it can execute Maven goal, clean and package. Perfect. So with this, we have 2 stages in our pipeline. Click on build now. I'm executing that build for second time. So go to this build, console output. This build got failed. Expected step, definition Maven home, tool Maven type, def Maven CMD, finished failure. Groovy control, startup failed, def Maven home. It is not able to take def Maven home, stage Maven clean build. So where we configured it, dashboard, configure, pipeline. Inside the steps, we configured the def, sh, clean package. So let me take this out and let me keep in the stage. Inside the steps, I have configured this. Okay, apply and save. Click on build now. Third time, I'm trying to execute. Stage, some extra configuration is required. Def Maven home, not a valid stage section. Some extra configuration is required. Build failure. Okay, let me take this. So instead of that stage and step, another syntax I need to use. Get credentials ID. Let me take these credentials. It is expecting node for that. Okay, give this now. Guys, I'm changing the syntax of this. 1 minute. Pipeline job, configure, pipeline. So this stages, it is not taking. Deploy stage, remove it. Yeah, 2 stages available, guys. I'm taking instead pipeline, I'm taking as a node. Stage is git clone, git credentials, and stage Maven clean build. So I have given Maven name as Maven 3.9.1. The name I'm taking it as Maven 3.9.1. Okay, this is a global tool. Apply and save. Click on build now. 4th time I'm executing it. Now git clone Maven clean build. So I'm using some predefined functions in the Groovy. So for that we need to go for node. We need to specify that as a node. Now 4th time my build got success. Git clone success. Maven clean build success. So go to this job. See the console output. Now you can see that the job status is finished successfully. It created a WAR file in our Jenkins workspace. So with this, we are able to execute 2 stages successfully. Now we need to go for 3rd stage, that is called deploy stage. So create deploy stage. Stage 1, cloning the Git repository. Stage 2, performing the Maven clean build. Now 3rd stage is create deploy stage. So in order to create the deploy stage, we need the Tomcat server. Tomcat server is already available. Guys, now observe a small concept here. Jenkins is running in one machine, right? Jenkins is running in one machine. Tomcat is running in one machine. So whatever the WAR file is available, Jenkins has taken the code from the GitHub. Jenkins communicated with the Maven and it performed build. Maven is available as a global tool in the Jenkins itself. Now, where is our war file? I have created stage 1 and I have created stage 2 and I'm able to run my job. Git to clone stage got success and Maven clean build stage also got success. Finally, where is our war file? Guys, where is our war file? War file is available in the Tomcat machine or war file is available in the Jenkins machine. Where is our project war file now? War file is available in the Jenkins machine. Where we need to deploy that war file? Where we need to deploy that war file? We need to deploy that war file from Jenkins to Tomcat. We need to deploy that war file from Jenkins to Tomcat. Are you guys able to understand this? We need to deploy the war file from Jenkins to Tomcat. Jenkins and Tomcat both are available in the single machine, both are available in the different machines. Jenkins and Tomcat available in the single machine, or they are available in the different machines? They are available in the different machines. So that means we need to copy the war file from Jenkins machine to Tomcat machine. We need to copy the war file from Jenkins machine to Tomcat machine. Copy war. In order to copy the files from one machine to another machine in the pipeline, we need one plugin that is called SSH agent. That means war file is available in the Jenkins machine. That war file I need to deploy into Tomcat server. Tomcat server is running in the another machine. So to copy the files from one machine to another machine, we are going to use SSH agent concept. What we are going to use, guys? We are going to use SSH agent concept. So now, in order to create our third stage, we need to install one plugin in the Jenkins. That plugin is called SSH agent plugin. What is the purpose of this SSH agent plugin? This SSH agent plugin is used to copy the files from one machine to another machine. So my Jenkins able to get the code from the GitHub. My Jenkins able to build the code by using Maven. Now my Jenkins should deploy the war file to Tomcat server. Tomcat is running in the another machine. To copy the files from one machine to another machine, we are going to use SSH agent. This is very important interview question. How you will copy the files from one machine to another machine? In the Linux, two Linux machines are there. How you will copy the data from one machine to another machine? Through SSH. Now, in order to create our deployment stage, we need to go for Tomcat server. Start the Tomcat server. My Tomcat server is already running. Go here, check this. This is my Tomcat server, which is already running. This is my Tomcat server, which is already running. Now, go to Jenkins. In the Jenkins, we need to install a plugin. What is that plugin? Install SSH agent plugin using manage plugins option. Now go to manage Jenkins, go to manage plugins, go to available plugins. Here, search for SSH agent. So let us go for SSH agent. You can use SSH agent plugin. Okay. So this plugin allows you to provide SSH credentials to build via SSH agent in Jenkins. You can use publish over SSH or you can use SSH agent. Anything is fine. I'm going for SSH agent. Click on install without restart. I'm installing SSH agent plugin. I'm installing SSH agent plugin. Fine. It got installed successfully. Good. Now go to our Jenkins job. Right? Generate SSH agent and configure deployment stage. So go here, Java web app pipeline job. So go to configure. 2 stages already we have configured. Now we need to configure third stage. That third stage is deployment stage. The third stage is deployment stage. So go to pipeline syntax here. In the pipeline syntax, I need to generate the script to deploy my application. Okay. Go here and select SSH agent to generate the script. SSH agent is available here. In this sample step, select the SSH agent. So this SSH agent, it is asking the credentials. So credentials means in which machine you want to copy the file. From which machine to which machine. I want to copy the files to my Tomcat machine. So we need to add the credentials of the Tomcat. We need to add the credentials of the Tomcat machine. So for the Tomcat machine, do you know username? Yes, we know the username. The username is Ubuntu. Username is Ubuntu. What about the password? We have temp file. Password is not available. We have temp file, guys. Key is available in the temp file. So by using that key and this username, we need to configure our SSH agent. So here observe carefully. I want to generate the script to copy the files from Jenkins machine to Tomcat machine. For that, I want to generate the script. I'm generating that script by using pipeline syntax. SSH agent I have selected. Here it is asking in which machine you want to copy, give the credentials of that machine. So now go here, select Jenkins, add the credentials, username with password. I don't know the password. Username with the private key. Tomcat server username and private key. That machine username and private key. So here I'm giving Tomcat server agent. This is the Tomcat server agent description. What is the username of that machine? That machine username is Ubuntu. Okay. Now, what about private key? The private key I need to add here. Where is that private key? It is available in the key pair, temp file. I need to copy the data from the temp file. We already discussed how to copy this. Go to git bash, copy the temp file key by using cat command. Git bash cat the temp file. So it has given me this key, right? Let me copy this, select it. Now go here, enter that key. That's it. Click on add. So now select our Tomcat server agent. Now generate a pipeline script. Now this will be considered as a Tomcat server agent. So SSH agent generated. That agent name is Tomcat server agent. What is there in the Tomcat server agent? Tomcat server agent having the credentials of the machine in which our Tomcat server is running. I have given username and I have given key pair. So with the username and key pair, this SSH agent can communicate with the machine in which our Tomcat server is running. Now, after generating that SSH agent, now we need to configure that SSH agent here. Take this script, SSH agent script. Now give that SSH agent here. I'm changing only this line, guys. So earlier my agent name is Tomcat EC2 credentials. Now what is my agent name? My agent name is Tomcat server agent. Just to take this name. With this name, our machine credentials are available. So now give that name. I've given Tomcat server agent. After doing this, I need to copy the file from one machine to another machine through this SSH agent. So here to copy the files from one machine to another machine, we are using SCP command. So secured copy command I am using through SSH agent. SH secured copy, strict host key checking is equal to no. Target. Where is our war file? War file is available. War file is available in the target directory. So that war file I want to copy. This is the source location and this is the destination location to copy our war file. EC2 user. This is IP address, and this is the location where our Tomcat server is running. So by using this SSH agent, I want to copy the war file from my Jenkins location to Tomcat server location. So in the Tomcat server, what is the username? That machine is running with Ubuntu. So username will be Ubuntu. What is the IP address? We need to give the private IP address of the Tomcat machine. So go here, take the private IP address of the Tomcat machine, instances available. Go to the instances, take the private IP of our Tomcat machine. Go to instances running. Now Tomcat server, private IP is available. Take the private IP address of that. Now home/Ubuntu right? This is the private IP address of that machine. Home Ubuntu Apache Tomcat web apps. What is the Apache Tomcat directory? So here we are trying to connect with Apache Tomcat server, connect it. So we need the path of the Tomcat server. The directory path is required. We need to give that path so that the WAR file will be copied from Jenkins machine to that Tomcat web apps directory, ls-l. So this is the directory of the Tomcat. Copy this directory and give that directory path here. /web apps. Let me copy this directory. Home Ubuntu. Home Ubuntu. This Tomcat directory path I need to provide. Okay. Here the username will be Ubuntu. The IP address, that is the private IP I need to provide, guys. So let me take its private IP. Private IP address. So let me copy this private IP address. Here I need to copy the private IP address. Okay. Path, home, Ubuntu. The Tomcat directory path is required. That the Tomcat directory path, Apache-Tomcat 9.0.73. Let me copy this. Now let me give that path. In that path, web apps directory will be available. In the web apps directory, it is going to copy our WAR file. Home Ubuntu Apache Tomcat /web apps. So whatever the WAR file we are taking, that WAR file will be copied into web apps directly. So this is our SSH agent stage. So let us take this stage. This is for the deployment purpose. This is for the deployment purpose. Take this stage. Go to our Jenkins pipeline. Go to our Jenkins pipeline. Right? Add one stage. That is our deploy stage. So in the deploy stage, we are using SSH agent. We are giving WAR file location and we are giving in which server it has to copy that. So I have Ubuntu machine. This is the IP address and this is the path of that machine where Apache Tomcat server is available. Click on apply, click on save. Now go to our Tomcat machine. In the Tomcat machine, connect to this username and password. Sign in. Okay. So let me delete this application which is available already. Fine. List application. Guys, currently our application is deployed in the Tomcat server or our application is not deployed in the Tomcat server. Currently our application deployed in the Tomcat server or our application not deployed in the Tomcat server. Currently our application not deployed in the Tomcat server. So now what I need to do? I need to deploy my application in the Tomcat server through Jenkins pipeline. If you see this Jenkins pipeline, there are 3 stages available. Okay, guys. So these stages, if you copy directly, it will not work because this Git credentials are my repository credentials. You need to give your repository credential. This is Maven build. This is my global tool. And this is my Tomcat server SSH agent. This will not work in your system. You need to create SSH agent. And this is the path of WAR file. And this is the path of my Tomcat server details. Okay. So Ubuntu is the username, private IP. This is the path where the Tomcat server is available. In the Tomcat server, web apps directory available. So what is the meaning of this? SCP, secured copy. Take the WAR file from this target directory and copy that WAR file into Tomcat server web apps folder. Tomcat server is running in the another machine. Okay, good. So with this, our stages are completed. Save. Now, let's try to run this pipeline. Already we executed the pipeline 4 times. Now, if I execute, it will become 5th time. Click on build now. So when I click on build now, it will execute 5th time. And let us see, is it going to deploy or not? Deployment got failed. So go to this number, build number, go to console output and check this, where it is failing. Where it is failing. Okay. Permission denied, public key. So here it is not able to copy the WAR file. It is not able to copy the WAR file from our Jenkins machine to Tomcat server. Not able to copy the WAR file from Jenkins machine to Tomcat server. Permanently added to the list of known host. Permission denied for the public key. Lost connection. SSH agent K script returned. So with this public key, it is not able to connect to that Ubuntu machine. With this public key, it is not able to connect to the Ubuntu machine. Apache Tomcat web apps. Here also we are facing the same issue. Why that key is not accepting? Why that key is not accepting? Let me try to connect with this machine. So if the key pair is not connecting, then pipeline also cannot connect with that. What is the issue with the Tomcat server? M file key pair, Ashok IT key pair we have given. Okay, let us take this public IP address. Go to this session, SSH, remote host, username, that is Ubuntu, setting, private key, PEM file. Okay. Server refused our key. No supported authentication methods available. Session stopped. Guys, did anybody face the same issue?
Sir, go to security settings, sir.
Security
And
SSH.
at the SSH my IP. Here. Second
I have
one.
given SSH.
Customer. My
Yeah,
IP. Then it will work.
Not with the my IP. It should be allowed for everyone, right? Anywhere IPv4, if I give, it should accept everything. Not with my IP. It should work for everyone, right?
Anywhere.
Yeah. So with my IP also, it is not working. Anywhere it should support. Security group. ECT dashboard. Instances running. Tomcat server. Details. Public key. Security settings. Inbound rules. SSH 22 is enabled. Edit this. Edit this. 22, not this. Custom. Anywhere IPv4. Any request with SSH protocol should be accepted. EC2 instances running. Tomcat server is running. So why we are not able to connect from mobile external? That is the problem.
So can we generate the new PEM key and check once?
No, sir, we can't. Once the machine is started, you can't use the new. You need to go for new machine. You can't change the file for that.
Maybe we'll use a new session. Yeah.
But why all of a sudden it is not working? That is my doubt. Earlier, last time we are able to connect to that machine. Tomcat. We are not able to connect to that machine. So same problem. Jenkins pipeline also not able to connect to that machine. Public IP address. Username. Ubuntu. Private key. PEM file. No.
Ashok, looks like a key was the updated. Can you check when the last time the file was updated?
No, key is not updated, sir. We have not modified that key. Let me try with the Jenkins. Same key pair for the Jenkins, right? Take the public key, session, SSH, remote host, username, that is Ubuntu, settings, private key. Okay. With the Jenkins, I'm able to connect with the same key, but Tomcat, I'm not able to connect.
Ashok, can you restart the SSH service from the console?
Right, 1 minute, guys. So Tomcat server, let me reboot this instance. Or else I need to set up new machine for the Tomcat. Public IP address. No, guys, I'm not able to connect to this Tomcat machine. No supported authentication methods available. Server sent public key. It is not accepting my key pair. The same issue, our Jenkins pipeline is not able to connect to that machine. Permission denied. So the key pair, whatever we have configured, that is not working to connect with the Tomcat machine. So we need to set up new Tomcat machine. Same key pair, it's not working. For Jenkins, I'm able to connect, guys. Only with the Tomcat, I'm not able to connect. That key pair, it is not accepting.
So do you use the same key pair every time you create
Yes.
a EC2?
I'm using same
then
key pair.
Sir, I am also facing same issue with the Tomcat. Then at that time I change from anywhere to my IP. Then it will work. Once try with that.
Security group default, inbound rules, my IP address. Save the rules. Mobile extra. No, sir. With my IP also, it is not working here.
Restart the service, I think, possible.
Service.
can we create another key pair and then use that key pair?
We can't change the key pair once it is created, sir.
No, I mean new key pair.
New
No,
session, sir.
no, man. Once you created one machine with a key pair, you can't change that key pair. There is no option to change the key pair in the AWS.
New session, sir.
Sir,
Start
can you
with
delete
new
the-
session.
Yeah.
New
Can you delete
EC2.
this machine and
New EC2.
sir,
Yeah,
can you
I
delete
need to
the
go
Tomcat
with-
server and create the new Tomcat?
Yeah, that one we can do it.
Can we create Amazon machine image of this Tomcat server and again create another machine with that image and select that existing key pair?
I need to create a new machine and I need to install the Tomcat again in that.
Doing the security stuff deeper, you can help.
Guys, so let me create new Tomcat machine. I will stop this. I will go with the new instance. And I need to do all the setup again for that. Instances, launch instance, Tomcat server. Go for Ubuntu. T2 micro, key pair. Ashoka key pair, network settings. So I'm going to select default security group. Click on launch instance. Right. Tomcat server. I need to install the Tomcat server in this machine. First, let me connect it to this machine. Take its public IP. Session SSH remote host. Public IP. Username is Ubuntu. Private key. That is our PEM file. Okay. Yes. Now I'm able to connect with this machine. Now in this machine, I need to install my Tomcat server. So let me go back to install our Tomcat server. Tomcat setup. First, we need to install Java. So let me install sudo yum install openjdk. Sudo yum install Java. Sudo yum install Java. Sorry. Sudo apt install Java. Sudo apt install default JDK. Yes. I'm installing Java in this Ubuntu machine. Once Java got installed, we need to download Apache Tomcat. Go to this official website of the Tomcat downloads directory. Tomcat 9. Now tar file is available. Let us copy this link address, and using wget command, I will download that Tomcat. Java installation in progress. Yeah, perfect. Now we can verify Java version. Yeah, Java installed. Now let me download Tomcat by using this wget command. Yes, Tomcat downloaded ls-l Tomcat 9.0.74. Let me extract it. tar-xvf Apache Tomcat directory. So it extracted. Once Tomcat is extracted, now we need to make some settings in the configuration files, right? So here, by default, it is not available to access. I need to go for this location and I need to change that. cd Apache Tomcat, web apps, manager, then meta-inf, then context.xml. vi context.xml. Here, as we discussed, by default, that the dashboard is not accessible outside. So in order to access it, I will give .star. Okay, I want to access that outside also. Then make that change. After making that change, save this file, .star, done. Now I need to add the users in the Tomcat. So in order to add the users in the Tomcat, we should go to conf directory. Okay, cd space conf directory. Here we have tomcat-users.xml. Inside this, Tomcat users should be configured. So now let me go here and configure users to access our Tomcat. So I'm configuring the Tomcat users. Username will be admin and admin with all the permissions. Done. After this, we need to go to bin directory. There we need to start our Tomcat server. Startup.sh. With this, my Tomcat server got started. So once this Tomcat server is started, let us take its public IP and let's try to access our Tomcat :8080. So let us see our Tomcat is accessible or not. Yes, Tomcat is accessible. Now we need to make some changes in our script. In the Jenkins pipeline script, we need to make some changes. So what are the changes that we need to make? Our machine got changed. Tomcat machine got changed, so our pipeline is going to change. So now go to configure and go to the pipeline. Key pair is same, no need to change the agent. The only change I need to do is the directory name and the IP address. So what is the private IP of this Tomcat machine? 172.31.47.46. Go here and change this IP address. Give that IP address and path of the Tomcat. So what is the path of the Tomcat? Tomcat 9.0.74. 9.0.74 is the machine name. Okay. Now go to manager app here. Go to admin and go to admin. Click on sign in. Okay. So now currently no application is deployed in this Tomcat server. Let us save our Jenkins pipeline and let's try to run our pipeline. Fifth time it got failed. I was not able to deploy. Cloning got success, Maven build got success, but deployment got failed because we have some issue with the previous machine. I have created new machine in the cloud and I installed the Tomcat server. The Tomcat server is up and running now. If you see the list application in this Tomcat server, our application is deployed or our application is not deployed. In this Tomcat server, our application is not deployed. Now go here and run our job. So go here and run our job. Click on build now. Sixth time, I'm starting my Jenkins pipeline. Now it is trying to deploy. Let us see. Go to this console output. It is trying to connect it to that Tomcat server by using this SCP, Ubuntu, Apache Tomcat 9.0.74 web apps, Apache-Tomcat 9.0.74 web apps directory. So the SSH agent is trying to copy the war file from our Jenkins pipeline to Tomcat server. Okay, refresh this list application. Still, it is not deployed. Our pipeline execution is not completed. Still, it is in the running state. Logs. SCP checking Ubuntu, home Ubuntu Apache Tomcat 9.0.74/web apps. It is trying to copy the war file from the Jenkins machine to this Tomcat server through SSH agent. It should not take this much time. Still it is in progress, guys.
Can we check the logs? Just monitor the logs.
So can I ask
Okay.
one thing, that even the Jenkins and Tomcat is running on the same network, because we had given the private IP.
Yes, sir. Same VPC.
Okay.
It failed. Go to
So
the
just wondering, shall we use the public IP? Because from your laptop, you're using public IP, no?
Maven web app connection timed out, got stopped, connected to host. Let me go to this machine. Tomcat server. You want to give public IP in the script?
Yeah, let's try that one. I mean, if the SSH is possible from your terminal, then public IP should work there also.
Home Ubuntu Tomcat web apps. Apply and save. Click on build now. 7th time we are running the build, guys. 6 times it failed. Let us see here. It is trying to do the deploy.
I think stuck at the same place.
Yeah.
So can you use public DNS instead of public IP? I think in web they are mentioning that.
No issue, sir. Anything is fine. Let me stop it.
Sir, shall we run manually that command from Jenkins machine? Just log in Jenkins machine and try to
Yes,
run
we
that
can
command and
do
see.
that. Build is getting success. Only this SSH agent is getting failed.
Can we check Tomcat secure logs whether it is failing?
No, sir, the problem is not with the Tomcat. The problem is from the Jenkins side. It is not able to connect to the Tomcat.
No, I'm talking about Tomcat server SSH logs.
We will check that. If I take this command from Jenkins, I should go to the path where my job is available.
Right.
Our file is there.
Sir, your command has target to a folder already, so I think you can be outside of the target folder. But that's not a issue right now, but just tell me.
No, it's not connecting. It failed.
Sir, we
Then
can try
should
to
we need to create any outbound rule like that?
connect Jenkins to the Tomcat server by SSH. That connection is happening or not, we can understand.
Outbound rule is not required, sir.
No, I mean just SSH Ubuntu and @ the IP. I know it will ask for password, but
You're not able to ping. Need to open the
When we create freestyle job, we used public DNS instead of public IP.
No, that is different, sir. That is GUI is different. Pipeline SSH connection with happen with this.
Okay.
80 port custom 8080. Oh. Guys, it deployed successfully. The problem is that SSH security we added my IP. If I remove my IP, it is deployed successfully. Now you can see our application is deployed in the Tomcat server. Guys, are you able to observe?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it deployed successfully to the Tomcat server. The problem we faced in the security group, my IP is enabled for that SSH. I removed that from the Jenkins, the default security group. So if I use custom anywhere IPv4, it is working fine. Good.
Yeah, I think we made that change, but forgot to revert back.
We forgot to remove that change. Now we are able to run our Jenkins job. Now let me undeploy my application from the Tomcat. So let me go for undeploy. List applications, Maven web app is available. Let me go for undeploy. So now, do we have any Maven web application deployed in the Tomcat? Currently, it is not available. Now let me go for our Jenkins job. Now let us see our Jenkins job configure. Go to pipeline. So what are the stages available in our pipeline? So there is a stage for Git clone. We have the Git repository URL. And there is another stage for the Maven build and another stage for the deployment. So whenever you are doing the Git clone, I don't want to hard code the credentials here. So that's why I'm taking the credentials through pipeline syntax. I'm configuring that. Maven we configured as a global tool. So we are giving the path of that global tool to do the package. And the deployment, to do the deployment, I'm using SSH agent. So what is the main purpose of this SSH agent? The main purpose of this SSH agent is to copy the files from one machine to another machine. Jenkins is running in one machine, Tomcat is running in the another machine. So I want to copy the WAR file from my Jenkins machine to Tomcat machine. So here, this Tomcat machine username is Ubuntu and the key is available as a PEM file. By using git bash, I copied that key from the PEM file. So once I copied that key and I generated a SSH agent and I'm giving this command. This command I'm using to copy the file from my Jenkins machine to Tomcat machine through SCP command. So whenever you are giving this IP, this should be private IP address of your Tomcat machine. Right? Let me check this Tomcat machine, that is private IP or public IP. So the IP address that we are giving, it is a private IP address. It is a private IP address to do the SSH connection. So this is the path in the Jenkins where our WAR file is available. That WAR file I want to copy to the Tomcat machine. This is the username of the Tomcat and this is the private IP of that. And this is the path of the Tomcat server folder, web apps folder to deploy the WAR file. This is deploy stage. So final pipeline will be looking like this. So here we have stage 1 Git clone and we have another stage Maven build and we have another stage deployment. Got it. So once we execute this pipeline, now our application is getting deployed into Tomcat server. Now go to pipeline job. 9th build already successed. Now let me go for 10th build. Okay. Click on build now. So when I click on build now, 10th build is going to trigger. go to the console output of the 10th build. We can see the status finished success. It is happening very quickly. Now you observe, started by the user, and we are able to do the git clone. After git clone is success, now Maven build is executing. We have given clean package goal. Maven clean package goal is given. It is taking that Maven from the build global tools, then it is executing the clean package. Once it executed that, then here we are trying to copy that file from Jenkins machine to Tomcat machine. It created the war file in the target directory. Once that war file got created, build got success. After that, our next stage is executing, that is the deploy stage is executing. In the deploy stage, we are using SSH agent. SSH agent is used to copy the file from one machine to another machine. Now I am using SCP command, secure copy command I am using. So this is the path where our war file is available. This is the destination where you want to copy. SSH agent copied the war file from the Jenkins machine to Tomcat machine, that got success. So the process of copying the war file to the Tomcat web apps folder is called as a deployment. Now go here, our application got deployed, right click and open in the new tab. So we are able to access our application. You can also hit this URL. Now hit this URL and check it. Are we able to access our application? Guys, are we able to access our application?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are able to access our application. With this, we are able to create one simple Jenkins pipeline. In this pipeline, we have 3 stages. Stage 1, take the code from the GitHub. Stage 2, do the Maven build. And stage 3, deploy that into Tomcat server. Okay, so tomorrow, what we do is, tomorrow we will integrate with the Docker and Kubernetes. So I am deploying into Tomcat server manually, but I want to implement Docker and Kubernetes in the Jenkins pipeline. I want to automate my project deployment by using Git, Maven, Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes. Tomorrow we are going to create that pipeline. Okay, guys? Yeah. Any questions, anyone?
Sir,
Yep.
you have used Maven as a global build, right?
Correct.
So, yes. So, sir, same as can we use Git as a global tool?
Yes, we can do that as well. We can configure Git also as a global tool.
Yes. So that's why we can we can add the credential there.
Right. Right. Yeah. Perfect, guys. So please practice this pipeline creation before coming to tomorrow's class. So tomorrow we'll create another pipeline with Docker and Kubernetes. Thank you, guys.